talk about the role the offensive line played in that play in particular.
Yeah, it was huge. Just was really patient going up to the line of scrimmage and found a little crease right behind Marcus Tate. Took it, both backers kind of spread out, so just had a straight shot up the middle. Got a finish, did a bad job, holding top end speed there. I was looking left and right. I've tried to be focused on the end zone and myself, holding my form. So I was a little disappointed by that, but really happy to start the game off with a big play.
It was your former teammate Mustafa that caught you, right?
Yeah.
Did you have any words for you after that or after the game?
Yeah. We talked after the game. Not about that in particular, but just really happy for that kid. Started off at Richmond, wasn't really highly recruited, but you see what he's doing at Wake Forest. Really, really good Power 5 program. So he's got some burners on him. Not as much as I remember, but I was really happy for him and proud of him.
Will, talk to me about that game-tying touchdown there in the fourth quarter, where you reached across the goal line. Kind of a fine tightrope to walk, right? Because you don't want to fumble the ball at the goal line like we've seen many times before. How I guess dicey is that? And how sure are you? Do you have to be of yourself that you're not going to lose control of the ball?
Yeah, it's something that kind of just happens instinctually. Something that, like you said, it is dicey, especially for it to be. I know it wasn't fourth down. I forget if it was second or third down, but just always got to keep possession. And really the only time you should be reaching the ball out is fourth down. So, that's a mistake on my part, but glad that it turned out the right way.
Well, I know you've had some family members that went to NC State, correct?
Yes, a lot of them.
Does that make it kind of odd or weird, or no?
I think it did, especially early on in the recruiting process. There's a lot of pressure to kind of be funneled to NC State. My parents always did a great job of making sure they were never throwing in their bias. Both of them are graduates, 26 graduates on my mom's side from NC State. So we've definitely got Wolfpack in our blood, but it's a little awkward early on. But I think they've kind of learned and adapted. That I'm all in. I'm a Clemson Tiger. So.
Did both your mom and dad go to NC State?
Mm-hmm, yes, they did.
Okay. Has NC State now emerged as maybe Clemson's biggest rival?
I wouldn't throw the name rival out there to just about anybody but South Carolina. But they're definitely a really, really respected opponent for us. And coming in top 10 matchup in the Valley, it's something that we're looking forward to. And it's been a really, really good matchup the past couple of years. With the exception of one or two. So we've just got to take the momentum from last week as an offense, as a team, and just build off of that.
The gut-wrenching loss in Raleigh last year, double overtime. You were injured in that game. Cost you the playoff, cost you an ACC title. How much does that sat with y'all for the past year?
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. Just the series of events when you just didn't finish, and it's something that you saw us do on Saturday against Wake Forest. We were confident going out there that we were going to put the ball in the end zone and the defense was going to come up with a big stop. And then like I said, it's something we didn't do against NC State last year. So just kind of going into it, I felt like we were not fully prepared mentally, physically. And this year it's different. We're going into it and giving ourselves the best hand to do our thing, and that's what it comes down to, is just now the players making plays.
You mentioned 26 family members on your mom's side that went to NC State. Any of those that you think will be rooting for NC State, maybe rooting for you, but also rooting for NC State Saturday?
Yeah, I think there'll be a culmination, but there'll definitely be a good amount, rooting for the Wolfpack. That's one thing I've come to realize is, I think they're all cheering for me, no question, but when you're talking about, my mom's side of the family, they're diehard Wolfpack fans. So, I'm not too involved in it, don't want to be too involved in it, but yeah, I'm sure a bunch of them will be supporting Red on Saturday.
Have you turned any? Sorry, go ahead.
I was surprised you have a lot of family here for the game.
Yeah. Just trying to get as many people here as possible. I know you guys know it's a tough game to get tickets to, but yeah, trying to get as many people here as possible.
Have you turned any of them into full-on Clemson fans?
Yes, yeah. There's definitely a few, and and to be able to flip them to full-on Tiger fans is a great feeling. I kind of feel like the recruiter myself, but no, it's good, and still got all the love for them in the world. That's just who they grew up cheering for. So.
Well, you had some pretty strong comments in the preseason about how badly you wanted to see DJ succeed this year. I know it's only 4 games, and that's not a whole season, but how much have you enjoyed watching him have this success and flip the narrative?
Yeah, it's just coming to fruition, and nobody deserves it more than 5. He's as everybody's attributed to. He's just put his head down and he worked, and he got the most criticism out of anybody. Not only on our team, but maybe even college football last year. I mean, it was insane, just the amount of trash coming his way, and he's done such a great job of just putting in the work, and I think we can all see that it's paying off. And the game he had last week, and then talk about just him getting better every week, week in and week out, wanting to continue to improve, confidence growing, so many things that go into it. But being in the backfield with 5 has been a fun thing to do this season, and I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
Well, after the big run on the first play of the game, it seemed like the running game was kind of inconsistent, some good and some bad. Just kind of what did you see from your perspective there over the last three and a half quarters or so?
Yeah, I would say Wake Forest did a great job. I think after that play, they kind of decided that we were going to have to beat them through the air if we wanted to beat them, which it's a good decision on their part in my eyes, and I'm totally fine with that. Putting the game in 5's hands is what we want to do. We have the confidence in him, but in terms of the running game, weren't getting off as well as we wanted to. I was making some errant decisions. Got to be a little bit more patient, especially with the inside zone. So there's plays to be made there that weren't fully being made, but at the same time, Wake Forest did a great job of stacking the box, making sure that no gaps were left unopened. And doing a great job coming off the edge too. Anytime I would cut back or break it outside, number 9, I felt like number 9 was there every single time. Just diving at my knees. So, this is just a great job by Wake Forest to kind of switch the game plan, after the first play.
Maybe not as much with Wake Forest, but just in some other games this year, and even last year, some when he was healthy, can you feel just with DJ's ability to run the ball, can you feel teams kind of sometimes keying in on him? Does it open things up for you sometimes with that time read?
Yeah, definitely 100%. Just having to respect it. I think we felt it most against La Tech because they did a great job of mesh charging, and DJ did a really good job of just extending the mesh and making sure to make the right decision. So yeah, teams have to respect him running the football. I'm not sure. I think is a little over 5 yards a carry as a quarterback, and he's getting the carries too. So to see how he's run the ball and that he's willing to also take that weight, put it on his shoulders has been great to see, and I think it's definitely opened up opportunities for the backfield.
This is a play that didn't actually really go anywhere, but I saw a replay. Antonio Williams screen, you blocked a guy into the defensive back huddle. Did you realize after in that moment that I pushed him a little too far, or did you just not really realize?
Yeah, it's kind of half and half. During it, I don't even know what's really going on. I'm out there playing football, and one thing about me, I got one speed, so that's just how I'm gonna play. But when I was pushing him into the defensive huddle on the sideline, this one kind of kicked in. Like, all right, I should probably relax and be a smart football player here. That's one thing with me is that's what you're going to get. You're all every play, and I think one narrative that I've kind of been wanting to reverse and deflect is that I can't block. I'm a 3-down back, and I'm going to go out there. I can run the football in between the tackles. I can catch it, and I can block people. It's a narrative I want to be switched around, and I can't continue to put things on film that say otherwise.
The fact that y'all have Kobe and Phil able to be productive in the run game, share carries with you, how much does that help you have fresh legs late in games and in overtime, as opposed to having to carry the ball 25, 30 times yourself?
Yeah, it's huge to be able to put 26 and 7 in there, and for them to hold the standard up and to be able to do what they do, and not only me giving them a rest, but vice versa as well. And to be able to play the whole fourth quarter, go into overtime, and not ever feel like I've been overused or that I was banged up, beat up, is a great feeling, and something that I think we'll be able to use to our advantage later in the year.
Are there things you want to see yourself improve on, pass blocking, or plays in particular that you kind of wish you had back? from the
Yeah, there's always plays that you can look back at. Pass blocking, I think, go straight to La Tech. Will linebacker caught me off guard one time. And then, you're talking a draw play. And I don't get silver to the linebacker, so I'm just sitting back there waiting for the ball. He's blitzing. I'm not sure what to do. I make a little play on him. But, yeah, I would say just, 3 consecutive ones there where I've just got to step up into the pocket and take the hit off of DJ. On my cuts, I think sometimes I'm going a little too low, need to hit the thigh pad rather than, below the knee. But I'd say those are really it. And I think other than that, I've done a good job of protecting our quarterback. And it's something I take pride in. So, something that I don't take lightly. But yeah, I can always improve in it and can always get better in it. And I think just continuing to catch the football out of the backfield. I think one play against Georgia Tech, running a flat, just kind of, lost it midair. And that's one of the ones I got to bring in. But other than that, I felt really comfortable catching the football this year. And, look forward to kind of expanding it and maybe getting some more opportunities here in the future.
There's going to be a lot of rain on Saturday. How difficult is it to keep those pressure points on the ball and keep them coughing it up?
Yeah, it's definitely something that we have to emphasize this week as running backs, as ball carriers. You've got the points of emphasis, and you've just got to always be conscious. And I think that's the biggest thing is to never let your guard down, because it's always the defender you don't see. Cliche, but it's very true. And if you've just always got it in the back of your mind and you're always thinking about it, and you see all the defenders around you, then you're able to protect that football, and it's going to be a huge part of the game this weekend.
Walker Parks was telling us earlier that, you actually yell at him sometimes during the game to do his job. There's a little bit of a back and forth. How comfortable are you just being a vocal leader and saying things to the line? What's that back and forth like during games?
Yeah, I'm very comfortable, and I always pull them aside after and apologize, because never should I be yelling at them. We should be having a conversation. But that's just who I am, and they're all very well aware of that. They handle it very well. It's something that I'm continuing to work on. But I'm very comfortable out there, communicating with them, and I'm going to wear my emotions on my sleeve, after every play. It's not after every game. It's after every play for me. That's just how I am as a football player, as a person. But yeah, I'm so comfortable with those O-linemen out there, on a different level than last year in terms of communication and being able to kind of adjust on the move rather than maybe having to wait until the end of the drive last year. This year, we can make it happen on the field.
Will, ball security aside, what are your thoughts about playing and what could be a slog on Saturday, rain-wise?
I'm freaking pumped, to be honest with you. I'm so excited. Whatever environment, whatever conditions are thrown our way, this football team's so ready to go. I'm so ready to go. It's one that I've had circled since last year. Falling short to them. So yeah, I'm so excited.
What will be your routine on Saturday? Waiting for that primetime kickoff? Will you watch game day in the morning? Will you watch some other games?
Yeah, no, usually try not to watch any. I'll probably throw one on around the noon time when we've got a little bit of, lay down. But, the nighttime games are tough for me because I don't want to get out there so bad, and having to wait all that time. I've got to pace myself. I can't play the game too early. That's one thing with me. So, I've definitely got a routine, just kind of how I go through my day, things I want to study on, and just not playing the game too early.
Have you watched some film from last year's game?
Yeah.
Like a good bit?
Yeah, I've watched the game. Yeah.
What's it like kind of going back and seeing, I guess, maybe missed opportunities or maybe things y'all could have done?
Yeah, it's always a little gut wrenching to see an opportunity that could have changed the outcome of the game, but you maybe missed it. But there's always a positive to that, is that you can switch it around, learn from it, and make that difference this year. So that's truly what I'm looking forward to. And when you talk about that NC State defense, they're aggressive. They're going to get to the ball, all 11 of them, and you've got to be able to make the little plays. The little details are the most important thing. You're going to have to chip away, and then when the opportunity presents itself to be able to bust a big one or make a big play, you've got to take it, because it's going to be rare. So I would say just little things like that, but continuing to watch the film, continuing to pick up on different things, and just getting any step forward that we can.
And at what point in your improvement with NC State did you kind of move on from them or kind of cut them? And what were some of those factors? Is it kind of got down into the last couple teams of your recruiting?
Yeah, it was pretty late on, just because of all the family ties and because of how many visits, how close I'd gotten with their coaching staff. But if I remember correctly, I think when Des Kitchens kind of left or got fired, whatever the case was, is kind of when my interest in them went away. Coach Kitchens and I's relationship was really, really good, and I think that coaching change is a huge thing, especially when you get closer and closer to your commitment date. So when that happened, kind of veered away from them, but it's all respect. It was a great process with them throughout the whole thing. So nothing but respect for them.
So you got a little bit of carpet burn on your arm there. Is that from Saturday?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the turf will get you, I tell you. The turf will get you.
Well, it's Paul Journey week. How much has that program meant to you, both in choosing Clemson and going forward with your academic career?
Yeah, it's played such a huge role in my time at Clemson thus far, and it's a huge reason why I'm at Clemson right now as well. So just to be so involved and to have all these leadership initiatives, to be able to learn from Jeff Davis and his staff, and just to be able to have the opportunities. Like, me and three of my best friends went to New York in the summer, and worked with the NFL, and no other program can say that they give their student athletes that opportunity. And that's what Paul Journey does, and that's why they're the best program that does that in the country.
Was that your first time in New York, or have you been there before?
First time, yes.
What were your impressions?
Definitely won't be moving there or doing that. Actually, knock on wood. I won't say anything like that. But yeah, it was great while we were there. Not sure if I could spend longer than a week there at a time. But yeah, it was a great time, great opportunity.
Anything on Zoom for Will? Anything else here?
Marcus Tate said you guys enjoyed Hamilton.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it was an unbelievable performance. I think he was the biggest fan. He really loved it. Dove into it. Got on the whole soundtrack. I still hear the soundtrack playing in our room sometimes. But yeah, we had a great time.
All right, thank you, Will.
Thanks, Will.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.